Hello, hello. Hope you're doing okay today. Sorry it took me a bit to get set up. It's been a bit since I streamed, and I had no plans on doing it when I woke up this morning, but I was just like, hey, I gotta feel like coding something. So hope you're doing okay today. Let me know if you have any issues connecting or anything like that. I think I'm live, so far as I can tell. The trouble when you don't do this for a while. But yeah, I'd love to get started here. And the idea is just to have a really, I don't know, maybe this is too old school now, but just like a nice time writing syntax by hand. Hopefully you're still okay with things like that. But yeah, that's my plan today, is just to code alongside with you. And we'll see, yeah, how long we go. I don't know if I'll get to do this whole landing page or not. I've done nothing besides just look for something in UI Design Daily and just figured I'd take a little coding break and just code some because it's been a bit. So hope you're doing okay today. Let me switch stuff over. Hey, good to see you this morning. Let me know where you're watching from. A little rusty with the streaming, so forgive me as I get started here. But let's go ahead and jump right in. I've got, let me pull this up first, I guess. I've got this full page kind of design going on. This is just from UI Design Daily. I've linked it down below. Let me know if you have any trouble with bitrate or anything like that. I'm getting some random warnings in YouTube, but I think I'm okay. So, yeah, so I've got this landing design page. I don't know how much of this landing page will do because there's like a decent amount of stuff depending how serious we want to be. I've got it here in Figma. I don't know how like obsessed I'm going to be about getting this perfect or not. But yeah, we'll just kind of do what we feel like. And I don't know if you can even hear the music. I was having trouble getting that going. Maybe. Can you hear some music? No? Okay, I think now it's randomly playing music. I don't know why. So let me know if it's too loud or too soft, and we'll try to adjust from there. Hey, Dante. Welcome from the Philippines. I have a friend who just flew there yesterday. Cool. Well, hopefully stuff's okay. I'm just going to presume that that's the case, and we'll just go from there. All right, so let's get started. I am going to just start from scratch. We'll do bun create, Astro at latest. Sure, landing page. I don't know if it somehow read my mind or what, but we'll take it. And I think I'm just going to use Tailwind just to keep it simple and not have to create like an entire design system as we go, which obviously you should do, but this is just for the fun of it right now. Okay, so let's CD into landing page. I guess what was this, landing? There we go. Into landing page. Okay. That was way more difficult than it should have been. All right, and then I'll get this up and working. I know my face is covering some of it, sorry. All right, let me see if I can connect these two like this, maybe. Okay. So here we are here. Let's get rid of all the stuff for now. We're going to snooze this for like, I don't know, 50 minutes, and that'll be my sign that I'm done if I don't finish, which I probably won't, but that's okay. All right, so over here, let's do bun X Astro add, and we'll do Tailwind. Do I need anything else? I don't think so. Sound is fine. Okay, cool. All right, continue. Let me know what you're working on. If you have thoughts about anything going on in the world these days. Bun run dev. Like I said, it's been a little bit since I've streamed or done anything. And I don't know, life has changed a lot for developers in some ways. In some ways, it's still the same kind of stuff. A lot of people are using AI more to help accomplish those things. I don't know. I don't know that I want to talk about it, but we can if you want. We'll do bun I, biome. Let's add that as well. And I know I could do biome on it, but biome.json. And I have a little starter thing I use. Okay. That way it won't yell at me. And now we can get into this properly. Okay, as far as how I want to do this, I guess let me pull it up here. Localhost. Why is this not 1313? Throwback to Hugo days. Not sure why I started going there. Okay, here we go. So we've got this basic viewport. Obviously, like I need to get some colors in here and that kind of stuff. I'm getting lost in the header today. I don't know that I understand. Maybe my face is in the way, in which case I can just kill the face. Let's try that. Can we just do full screen? Do I have? Okay, here we go. Let's just switch to this one. And then maybe I have like this mirror magnet thing I used to use that I should just use, and maybe that will help. Don't worry about, oh, there I am. I'm in the wrong place, so let's position this better. How about bottom right? How does that work? All right, now I'm frozen for no reason in particular. We're moving in the right direction. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm back, and as I come to hover, like it'll hide my face. So maybe that's what you want. Hopefully that's useful. Although it keeps stalling out of me, so maybe I should just forget about this altogether. All right, no face, sorry. All right, let's get back into it so we can code instead of worry about all this. Wellness app, nice. Tell me more about it, Dante. Okay, let's, while we're doing that, let's capture maybe some basic colors. I'm guessing that these are all fairly benign, but I'll come over here and let's go to our global CSS. Oh man, what is this thing? I always forget this. Let's see, customize tailwind colors. This is one of the bad things about using AI more is like a lot of these basic syntax things you kind of know when you see them. I know I have to do inline. I just don't remember. Is it like at theme inline, I think, but let's just check. I should have just trusted my gut maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's it. All right. So let's do color. We'll just do background and then use this, although I don't think it was that. So what is this thing? Yeah. So it was something else, or maybe there are two colors. Yeah, I don't know. And this maybe is FFFFF. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just going to paste a bunch of these colors in. We'll figure them out later. There's white, which I'm guessing is actual white. Why is this extension not working? Yeah, it's just white. What is this blue color? All right, it seems like we have variables somewhere or style somewhere. Where are my variables? Where is it pulling these things from then? Selection colors. It's pulling from some iPad OS library, I guess. I don't know. All right, so let's add this as our border. This is the not exciting part of setting up a project, but you got to do it or have somebody do it for you. It's fine. You'll be okay. All right. That's good enough. Maybe let's grab this text color, whatever this is. Since this is being weird, let's just, oops, grab it right here. And we'll do color foreground, I guess. Why I spelled that one out, not the other one, I don't know. But let's close that off. Come back over here. Okay, cool. I think that's enough to get us started. And then I guess let's grab this like background color. I don't know if this is part of the design or not, but we'll just make it part of the design. We'll do color like, I don't know, purple. Okay, so let's get some basic stuff going here. I'm going to come over here and add a class, and we'll just do background purple, which is my custom purple color, I guess. And then We'll have like the nav and everything else, but I guess let's throw a div in here with background and background on it. And this one we probably want to have like padding of 4. And I think we had some kind of border radius on here. But this should basically take up, let's see, how do I want this to be? Yeah, let's just do, let's not worry about that right now. This one will eventually have stuff in it, so I guess we'll just do padding of 4 or something like that now. Rounded, medium, it doesn't really matter because I don't think that's part of the design anyhow. Let's leave the navbar and all this stuff alone for now, and let's just do this section, which obviously, like, typically you would have this as an interactive component, but because I have nothing else to like show here, I don't know how I would do that. So for now, let's just make it look like what it does. So let's make these little card components first of all. They've got people's names, and so let's think through this. We'll have an image for each of them. Then we'll also have author name and author. And then like whatever these are, codes and collapse. I don't know what this is supposed to represent, but that's fine. Maybe somebody who's performed it or something, like worked on this project and people who have congratulated it. I don't know. But let's kind of grab these one at a time then. And what I want to do, isn't there like a Figma plugin in Chrome that you can use now? I don't know. Let me just get rid of this because I would not normally copy this thing as with rounded borders or whatever to start with. All right, so let's create a little assets directory. We could also make this like a content collection, I guess. So maybe we should do that just to play with Astra a little bit. Content.config.ts. And I don't even remember how to do Astra content collection because I usually, again, scaffold out the basic stuff with this with just tab completion. If you're joining us, we're just basically coding old school today where we write syntax. So hopefully you're cool with that. Can I not remove all line comments? Thought there was a thing for that. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to pull in glob files. We're going to call this projects or something like that. Let's do projects. And here we're going to content projects. And let's pull in these as, do they need anything else besides from matter? No. So let's just do YAML files. If I can remember how to do YAML files. And then we'll have all the different things we need. So maybe, where's this project? Let me pull this up so we can just look at it right here. Oh, that didn't help us at all. So we've got a name. Maybe we'll also have authors. How about that? Just to kind of play with two. So we'll say author, define collection, and we'll have a loader here. And I guess just to mix it up, let's use the file loader. We had that in here earlier, I think. File. Okay. And we're going to need the actual location of the file, which I guess would just be src content, and then we'll have like authors.json YAML. It doesn't really matter. We'll do JSON just to mix it up. All right, we'll use this down here. Okay, cool. So then what we want is an author, and this should be z.reference. So this allows you to reference, not z.reference, just reference, because this comes from Astra content, and then we can just point it to any existing collection. In this case, obviously the author. So we're going to have an image. I guess we'll do image src. And then we can pass this as an actual image. So if we grab our image from here, it's nice to know. I guess I still know some syntax. And then we'll point this as our image. Don't be too confident. I think I misspoke. Maybe it's not destructured. Image. Why is this thing auto-completing for me? Maybe it was right to start with. Isn't it like this? Now I got to check. We'll check that in a second then. What else do I have? We're going to call this like code stars. I don't know what this is. And this will just be a z.number because I don't know what it is. And then let's copy this down. We'll also say like clap stars or something since that's what it looks like. I guess that's it. Okay, so we can work with a little bit of basic content collections in here. Now let me figure out whatever it is that I did wrong. Do I have to just... Yeah, that was it. Okay. All right. So cool. We've got projects and authors. So I think that'll work. Let me restart the dev server. Run dev. All right, and come back over here. All right, let's go ahead and pull these in. So up top here, we'll have projects equals await content collection. Get collections. Oh, goodness. Get collection. I couldn't remember the thing. Projects. All right, let's just make sure that something is happening here. Projects doesn't exist. All right. It's because I don't have anything in it. Turns out you have to add stuff. So now let's actually add the stuff so that we can get the stuff in here. So I think we called this, we said it was going to be projects. And so we'll say like project one dot, what was this supposed to be? YAML. All right, and now we have to add all those things. So we have an author, we have an image src. Instead of going by memory, let's just copy the rest of this here. We have these two things as well. Okay, cool. So here I think both of these are just going to be 25 for everyone, which is fine. And then this, I actually want to point to the relative asset over here, which I need to now recopy that image wherever it's at. I think there's like a way to, oh no, that's with a different platform. I was going to say, I think there's a way to actually copy some of this over, but directly from the, whatever it is. And maybe let's just do this. Let's just put it in the same directory and not overcomplicate stuff. We'll do the same thing with the peoples. So we'll just call this project one. I probably wouldn't use a PNG here, but it's okay. And so we'll say project one.png. All right, now we also need some authors. I want to say that we made this a JSON file. And let's just check to make sure that's the case. Authors.json, sweet. I didn't define any kind of schema for this though, so I probably should. Schema, and here we're going to do z.object, and we're going to do author name, or let's just do name because it's already an author, and this will be a z.string. And then let's copy this down because we'll also have an image. And I guess let's just leave it name. We don't need first and last. We're only using it there. And this can be the same thing where we'll have an image like that. I don't know. I'm curious, like, is coding stuff by hand like this going to be more like something that just people don't do anymore? I don't know. I think obviously it's hard to argue with the speed that like coding assistants give you. And I think it, like, in some ways you're foolish to not touch it at all, but there's a real, I don't know, there's like a lot of thinking that goes on when you're writing syntax and thinking like this stuff, maybe not so much, but even here I'm like structuring it out. How do I want this to be? And it's easy to kind of like YOLO stuff, even if you're experienced. So otherwise, so I don't know. I think that's something that's yet to be determined, but it's obviously changing pretty rapidly for a lot of us. And I don't know if there's a world in which you can avoid it either. Maybe there is, and I don't know. Maybe I need to be braver that way. But at least for me right now, it seems like that's not really a real possibility. Can I open this in a new tab and zoom in a little bit? Okay, there we go. Jenny Mola. Are they all the same? Come on, Mola. Let's just add our own then in here. And then this person. Again, we can make a relative path. So we're going to do like Jenny Mola. Okay, cool. So we've got one person in here, and I should be able to reference them. I'm going to need an ID. So let's just make it the same as the name, I guess. Jenny Mola, and that'll speed us up as we copy this over. All right, so let's now shut this down. We need to grab Jenny's face. Jenny, your face. Where are you? Oh my. Jenny's a whole thing. I thought she was just a head. Let's do 51 as well. Oh boy, that could have gone better. Let's do something like this. Just want to put her face in the exact middle, so when I crop this, okay, that'll work. So let's copy this as a PNG. Come over here, and we're going to add Jenny's face inside of content. So we'll say Jenny Mola.png. Avatar, Jenny Mola.png. All right, if we did that correctly, let's see if it'll actually reload this properly or not. Then we should have something here. And at least we've got the setup. And obviously the benefit to these content collections is it's type safe plain text, which is super nice. So it checks all that for you. Let me come over here. Let's see. Something happened. Author, did you not match something? Projects does not match context schema. Okay, so now I need to add Jenny as my author. Jenny Mola. And let's see if it's happier. Let's just stay over here to see what happens. It's happier, I think. Let's reload. Nope. Okay, Jenny Mola PNG does not exist. That's probably because I didn't do the authors correctly. That would be like this, right? No? Isn't it just like in the same directory? What am I doing wrong here? It's like the same directory, right? Oh, Chris. What am I messing up here? I guess let's throw these out in the assets. And we'll just take them from the top. So let me drag these here. Drag these here. And we'll go src assets. Jenny Mola. We'll do the same thing. .png. Did I misspell it? No. Do the same thing over here. Maybe we restart. I don't know. What am I doing wrong? Hey, welcome, Petit Pois. Things are happening. Did something happen? I did a thing. Let's see. All right, let's console log this and see if something actually shows. Okay, we got it to work. I don't know what I was doing wrong with the syntax or for finding that file path, but now we're set. All right, so all we need to do is add the extra ones. But maybe let's loop through this first. So we're going to have some sections in here. So we'll have like the nav up top, and then below here, I will have like the, I don't know, whatever that ARIA label. We'll call this like search area, something like that, where we'll have our search bar. So for now, we'll just do that, just so we know it exists. And then down here below, we'll have a section. And I'll use an ARIA label, and we'll call this like projects. Now, the reason I'm using ARIA labels to like section these things off, you can also use ARIA labeled by if you want to as well. I don't think there's a difference. I could be wrong. Let me know. But when you actually look at the accessibility tree here, you see we've got regions now named these things. Forget this. This is something else. These two regions right here, and then we've got this navigation reason or area. So you can also actually label this too. And so, whoops, like main nav. Like you don't have to name it, or you can just call it main, I guess. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to name it, but you can see how like that helps. It's a little bit more descriptive. With these regions, you might say like, well, isn't section supposed to kind of section these things off? Well, it actually just shows the search box. So the whole like region is gone here if you don't have some kind of ARIA label or ARIA labeled by, or it points to something. Get back here. So that's why we're doing that. Okay, so let's actually get these projects in here. Let me check what the design looks like again, because I don't remember. So let me jump over here. All right, so we don't have any kind of header or anything like that, but we've got these cards and then this top section here. So I probably also need to pull these things in. I don't think I'm going to make these. Yeah, let's just copy these things as SVGs. But before we do that, let's get these cards in here, and then we'll eventually probably need to add an extra metadata property to mention this, because I don't think that's part of the image. Is it? No, it's not. Okay. So we'll also have to do that. Okay, and then this is mixed. What is it? Can you not tell me? Oh, 15. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Let's create a little component here. So we'll have components. And here we'll do like project card.astro. Oh, Chris. Astro like that. And here, like maybe we make this thing an article, and we're going to have the image, all that kind of stuff. Let's pull in the metadata up top though. So we're going to have all this stuff from astro.props. And maybe the easiest thing to do is just to pass the whole thing along. So we'll just call it a project. And I can pull this in. Project is going to be collection entry. What is this thing? And this will be, if I can type, a project. Okay. And then we'll also need to grab from here everything we need. So we're going to grab from our project here all the different items just to make it easier to type out. And I don't know that I need that. Let's just grab it from project.data. Author. Clap stars. Code stars. Can you tell it's early in the morning? I'm calling stuff clap stars. And then we can do get entry. I know, syntax is wrong. I'll get to it. Entry. Where are you at? All right, const equals await get entry. Can you now pull this in? Get entry. Thank you. And we'll use actually the author dot collection just to be as type safe as possible. And then we'll have the author dot ID. And this is if this author exists. This should exist no matter what, because it has to on here. But now we want to make sure that the author data actually exists. So we can just like throw an error. So if there is no author data, so we're going to like do this double lookup. We first grab the project, and then because it's a reference, it doesn't give us all that data immediately. So that saves you from like over indexing what you don't actually need. But we do need the author data. So now we're looking for the author, but we have to make sure it actually exists. So if there's no author data for that particular author, which I don't know, there should be, right? I don't know that I need to check this. Yeah, it could be undefined, I guess. But like, according to the schema, it really can't be. Anyhow, if there is, then we can just like throw error or something. Throw new error. You ain't an author. All right, so that should work. So if I threw something random in here, you know, it would throw that error. Okay, assuming that that's not the case then let's go ahead and grab some stuff we need from the author data. And then once we have all our data here, we can actually do stuff. Author data dot data, I guess. And we need the avatar and we need the name. All right, I think we got it all. So what we need is clap stars, code stars, image SRC, avatar, and name. So let's get these things set up how we need to. So we've got the image up top. So this is probably going to be, again, because I'm using Tailwind, we'll just do grid, gap. I don't know, let's do 6 or something like that. And then we'll have our image here, which we should probably use the Astro image component. I don't see why not. So let's pull that in. The SRC here would be the, let's see, image SRC dot. I actually just passed the whole thing there, I think, right? Did I not pull that in? I did. Okay. I have to actually pass the .src, right? Do I need to pass this too? Why is this thing yelling at me? It's not assignable to intrinsic SRC props. Oh goodness, Chris. Astro image. Like you still have to look this stuff up, at least for me, unless I'm again using like a coding assistant, and then usually I can spot like, oh yeah, that doesn't look right. Some stuff you remember, some stuff you don't. Yeah, SRC. I just passed the whole thing, right? That's what I thought. And then, why is this thing not like me? Oh, I need an alt. And then this could be whatever the project name is, which I don't have. So we're just going to say project name, or leave it blank, I guess. If you don't have anything to say, don't say it at all. All right, let's make sure that this will actually show up as we work on it. So I'm going to eventually come in here for all my projects, .map. We're going to take each project and pass each project to a project card like that. And here we have a project, which will be RP. And it should show up somewhere. Cool. All right, let's look at the Astro. What are you doing? Astro config, the MGS, and we also want to have image here. And here we want to make sure I'm using, I mean, what is that thing called? Image. What am I thinking about? Responsive image behavior. Why did it not go there? Here we go. Where is my... Oh, come on. Constrained. There we go. Constrained full width. But I want to do this in the config. Image layout. Here we go. Okay. I thought that was image. Oh, it was just throwing me issues. All right. So here I'm going to have layout, and this will be constrained. And just by doing that, we should get some nice help over here as well. So now, yeah. That should work. Okay. Will be responsive, which is what we want. Okay, back to project card. We're going to have several things down here. If we remember, over this way, we've got the author face and name, and then the clap star thing. So we're probably going to need to also have, let's do like a icons directory or something like that. And we're going to copy a bunch of these. So this one right here, we'll copy as SVG, and we will call it like code.svg. I'll just drop this in here. What? What was that? Okay. So that should work. We're also going to have, I guess, like clap.svg, where we'll grab that as well. So let me grab this here. Copy as SVG. Why is this thing opening in a preview mode? I don't want that. And we'll pull these in up here. So let's get a little bit of, these are like basically types. Why is this not? All right, so let's set this as a type. And then, oops, get entry. Let's clean this up a little bit. And we'll get rid of this here. And we'll get rid of this. All right, so those are official things. We got that, we're pulling that in. So now let's pull in import. We'll do clap from, and I probably should have set this up so that it's, let's see, components. Do I need to go up one more? Nope. Where am I at? At the components level, then you go up to assets, right? Where are the assets? JSON config. Here we want compiler options, base URL, paths. That doesn't seem right. I think this is right. I'm not going to get that right. TS config. Unfortunately, these path aliases, I don't exactly remember how to do them. Again, let's look it up. Aliases, import aliases. This is not an Astra thing. Here we go. Okay, paths. So this needs to be an array. I was close. And then, and here I'm just going to do star. All right, so that should work. And now I can just come back out here and I should be able to say, like this, assets dot clap dot svg. All right. This should be a real file that it's pulling in. Okay, cool. So let's pull this down too, and we're going to also have code. All right, so both of these components now we can just add directly down here, but we've got kind of this spread layout, right? This Flexbox layout. So this section over here, this section over here. So let's have a little Flex container. We'll do justify between items center gap 4 or something. Not that they're touching each other. Then we'll have an author section here, and then we'll have the like weird SVG section here. So this one again is probably going to be a flex. Here we'll do items center gap maybe 1 should work, and then we'll have both these things. So we're going to have these next to each other, probably the same kind of idea. So I'm just going to do flex items center, and we'll have both these down here where we'll first pull in the code like that, and then we will pull in, do I need to call this something else? Code icon, maybe? Because I think there's like a proper code component, maybe. And then we'll have clap down here, like this, and then we'll pull in the number, whatever that happens to be, and I guess throw this in a paragraph tag. And this is number from clap something. Clap stars. I forgot how descriptive I was. Code stars as well. Okay, cool. So let's see where we got over here. We killed something. What did we kill? Oh, you can't find it. Well, that's not fun. SRC components project card. What did I mess up? Probably didn't add that. Let's try again. Are you happy? Not happy. Clap SVG. Chris. Assets icons. There we go. Icons. Okay, now we got these things. Look at how happy they look. They're both clapping though, which is not ideal because we want this one to be the code icon here. And somehow it isn't. So let's make sure we grab the right thing. Hey, welcome, Charlie. And we're going to come to our code one, which somehow has nothing in it. What? Why is this thing trying to get me to preview it? Oh, it is in there properly. Maybe you just need to restart the dev server. Oh my gosh, I think I did the wrong. Okay, no wonder it's not working. Okay, so now we've got both these. Let's put them in the right order. Probably for both of these two. If it would let me see why I don't want to preview it. Okay. I probably would not color these directly inside here. I use current color for both of these so that they could be more flexible. So I guess we should probably do that too. Code like this. Again, I don't want to preview it. Let's find all of these things. We're going to change these to current color. Okay. Cool. Let's come back over to the body. We're going to do text of foreground, I think is what we had. So that should pick that up, I think. Oh, really? Richard, sorry. I'm just chatting and walking through this. I know that like there's a lot of vibe coding these days, so I just figured I kind of felt like writing syntax this morning like a cave person. So that's what we're doing. All right, where are we at? Project card. So we've got this over here. Now we just need to add the author. So let's use the same kind of thing. In fact, I guess it could be almost the exact same flex. Items center, gap 1. This is not right. And inside here, we're going to have, again, let's use the image component. Why not? And this one, we can have an alt, which will be the author name. And then the src will just be the avatar. And we might also want to set like an actual dimension on this too. So I could do width of, I don't know, 50 maybe. That's not how you do numbers. 50 like this. But yeah, I should mention Richard. Oh, cool. Glad you built your site with Astro. Yeah, if I'm usually doing a tutorial, I like go quite a bit slower and explain stuff, but we only have so much time and we're not going to even finish this whole thing as is because I got other stuff I got to do today, unfortunately. So right now I'm just kind of coding for me, but I'm happy to do it in public. I guess that's the channel name after all, right? Rounded full. But I'm glad that, glad it's been useful in the past for sure. By is what we got here. We're going to do by, and then we'll have a span. And here we'll have the name. We did it. Well, kind of. So this name here, I guess let's make this strong instead. Cool. And let's make this maybe gap 2. Something more like that. All right, I think we basically did that section. Obviously, we need a little bit more going on here. So class, let's do rounded, like, I don't know, 2XL. Is that too much? And then this one needs to be like rounded 4XL. For 3XL, what's actually available to me? Why is this not rounding anything? Oh, it is. It's just taking the whole thing into account. Okay, so what we need, I guess these things don't really need any padding or anything. And they don't really need a rounding there. So yeah, I guess this doesn't need anything. So this section up here is where we have like the search bar, which is why it looks a little weird. But now we've got these here. So what we probably need to do just to see the rest of these in real life, let's copy this over. We'll have a project 2. And then we'll do another one and we'll do project 3. That way we can line these things up. Width and height for project image 1. It's not a remote image, bro. So let's try this again. Assets. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we'll need like a max width or something like that on these two. But probably the easier thing is just to come to our index, and we're just going to add all this because there'll be like this top section for the filter section. So we'll have like a filter up here, and then down here is where we'll have the cards. So let's add like a grid gap 4, something like that. And then we'll do grid template columns, grid calls. We can do, oh man, auto fit. Let's just forget this. Flex. I don't really want to flex wrap though. Let's just do this. Let's not do auto stuff because I don't want to look that up right now. We'll do grid. We'll just leave it like that for now. All right, and we'll paste this in. Then I will come in here and say on small, we'll do grid calls 2. And on medium, we'll do grid calls 3. All right, and then look at us. We did things. Things happened. Let's make these a little smaller. I feel okay about that. Let's maybe make these a little bit bigger of a gap. All right, more or less, I think I feel okay with that. As it gets smaller, we eventually go to 2, 1. That seems kind of intense right there. All right, that'll work. All right, we're going to call that mostly done. Let's just add some extra avatar images, I guess, or these project images, and then we'll add in the little SVGs here in a second. So for project 2, since they're all named the same thing, if they can be lazy, so can I. So let's come in here. We'll just add project 2. Okay, and then we'll have another one that we call project 3 over here. Let's also get rid of this. And then copy as PNG. Paste this here. And we'll call it project 3. So let's open this up and we'll switch this out too. All right, so at least we have different project values for each of these. Project 2, did we change that? Project 2? We did. Oh, they are different. Okay, it just took a second. All right, Jenny's just doing amazing. Jenny, 10 out of 10. You're doing so well. Yeah, no worries about Tailwind. Hey, thanks, Fuzzy. Yeah, my preference is writing like my own CSS. I think the benefit is once you get into component systems with other people, it's nice to have, like, I can open any component that somebody's written in Tailwind and immediately know how to adjust it. Whereas, like, I have very particular views on how I like to write my CSS. And so if you jump into one of my projects, you kind of need to grok the entire system, the structure before you move forward. So either way, you need some kind of system. The problem with Tailwind is a lot of times people are really lazy, and like, this isn't necessarily a system. Like, I'm just throwing random paddings and random, so you kind of still need to have some kind of abstracted system if you're really going to, I think, use it in a way that's consistent. So it doesn't really get away from that issue. It's just that at least I know where to look. Like, I know to look on the components and I can change stuff directly on the component. And when you have components, it's not a big deal that these have all these, that like the project card here has all these classes. Like, I don't care. I'm looping over stuff and it's fine, but no pressure at all to use it. I think it's helpful for me when I come back to old projects because I don't have to kind of figure out what I was doing. It just works, and I know how to quickly adjust it, but totally get that might not be something you want to do. All right, icons. Let's add some stuff over here. And then we'll finish out those cards. And we may only get to this modal section today, which is fine. That was probably a little ambitious anyhow, even to get to that with the time I had. So we're going to call this sketch. Sketch.svg. And if this thing lets me, goodness, why does it keep doing that? I don't know. Okay. Oh man, what is this? I don't know what this thing is. What is this thing? I know this is Figma, at least. So let's copy this as SVG. If you know what that is, let me know. Figma.svg. And then, isn't this like, oh no, it's not XD because that's here. I don't know what it is. Let me know if you know. XD dot. I don't know what piano music is going on right now. This was supposed to be like chill vibes something. I need to talk to the music people. Let me go to change my music. Let's do this one. All right, that's better for me emotionally. Hopefully that's good for you too. Yeah, Grant, I get it. I mean, I feel like Tailwind is so used that it's really helpful to know it. Like if you enter a job and they're using Tailwind and you don't know it, that's kind of disorienting and frustrating. So I get it, but so I think it's like a useful skill to know or to have or whatever. I don't know if that music is any better or not. So let me know if that is as horrible or maybe you can't even hear it. I don't know. All right. Last thing we need to do then is to update our content config. And here I want to add like a design tool or something. And here again, we probably should have a separate reference. So let's do a reference and we're going to have this be to like design tools or tool. Design tool. So let's define this as well. And here we're going to do the same thing. We'll have design tool. And here we'll have design tools, or I don't know, tools is fine. See, does it need a name? Probably. And then like a icon. Is that what I want? Yeah, I guess. Is that what I want? Let's talk to myself over here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's have tools.json. Here we'll have like Figma, and then this will point to icons, Figma.svg. All right, so the nice thing is I should be able to just copy this down. We can just add all these here. So we had Photoshop. Oops. That doesn't really matter if it's super descriptive in this case. Let's just do Sketch. What else do we got? XD. Okay, so we'll name all those. That should be fine. We pull those in. We reference those here. See, it doesn't like us. Let's reload now. Maybe it's happier. It's not. Icon required, path, icon. I call these something else. Tools. I call these avatars. Icon, that's what we want. All right, let's try it one more time. Let's see if we're happy now. I don't know, like once you work with Astro and you get all this like really nice type safety, it's really hard to go away from it. Design tool did not match union, blah, 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 blah. Projects one. Oh. Now the projects need them. Project one. Design tool. And then we're going to have Figma or Sketch, I think, for all these, right? But, you know, like if you're working with something else like Next.js, I mean, you can roll your own validation for everything, but you don't have that. So like, yeah, it's kind of annoying that it's telling me like, hey, this isn't there, but then I know it's not there and I can fix it now instead of when I push to prod and realize that like I misspelled an author's name or something like that. Or so there we go. Okay, cool. Now this thing has a sketch icon for some reason. I thought it didn't over here. Maybe I copied the wrong thing. Let's get rid of that and just make sure. Okay, so let me just copy this. So that way we're not duplicating it. Ooh, you know what we should do? We should use that as a template for where we put this to start with. All right, so let's do one more thing, and that is we're going to pull in the tool, design tool. There we go. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to pull in design tool data. Data, that's fine. Design tool. Okay, cool. And then we're going to do if. Oh, look at this. We took too long, so our autocomplete came back. Author data design tool. You ain't a design tool. Tool ID. Did I not have an ID on these things? What happened? Sketch was not found. Let's look at tools. Sketch. Did I name these things? Capital Sketch, I did. Again, like, this is super annoying to have to do, but I'd much rather do it in dev than I would in prod, you know? And that's where Asterisk saves me every time. Because it doesn't matter like how careful you are or how much you've done stuff. Like, you just do the wrong thing sometimes, and that's fine. But it's nice when Asterisk just has your back. So now I know you ain't a design tool, and they help me out. And so now I can come down here. Oh, sure. We'll use autocomplete to speed us up here now. But we were trying to do most of this without it. Design tool name, icon, whatever. Design tool icon, that's fine. All right, so same thing here, except we are going to take this entire section. Let's do a little wrapper around here. We'll do a relative and then drop this in here so that way I can have this absolute positioned item. So we'll do absolute. We know we're going to need some padding, but let's first of all just throw like a size of like, I don't know, 12 on here. I'm definitely going to turn off the autocomplete. I also want a background of my background color. Full flex, sure, but I wouldn't do this. I would do grid, place items, center. Top two, that's fine for now. Okay, so we're at least kind of in the ballpark. Here, did we pull this in? We did properly. That's about right. Let's move this to like 30, 25. Okay, so this is the one we're trying to position it on, which is why we left it there. So we need to make this thing a little bit bigger. And let's do opacity of like 25, just to see how far off we are. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's jump back over here. I'm going to grab this image again. We're going to paste this in. And this will be our project one image. So let's let this thing get mad at me for a second. Paste this in here. Project one. All right, that should work. This needs to be an SVG. So I don't actually know how to, I'd have to look. No, this looks like it should work. Why is this not working? This should work as an SVG. Why is this not working? Design tool icon should be the icon. This should be a direct path to the icon. Tools.json icons PS. .svg name. That should all be right. We're pulling in the sketch icon. I don't know what is going on here. Height number. I think maybe it doesn't like this SVG. I don't know why though. Where each one is not exist. It's a string. Wasn't this the same thing? Yeah. Why is this thing yelling at me? And now it's disappeared on me altogether. You were working like just a second ago, actually. And why is it up top now? Okay. What happened here? Okay, so now that's fine. So I don't know whatever I deleted messed up everything. Okay, we're set now. Okay, cool. So we got that section done. I don't know how much more we've got time for, frankly, because my kids just got up. Maybe let's add this little section here. It's hard because like these should be buttons and all this kind of stuff. I would want to make these components, but I don't actually have any of this. So I don't know. Let's do some basic stuff, I guess. Let's come over here. We're going to have this filter section. This is going to be obviously justify between items center gap 6. Let's just do the same. And we've got 3 sections. We've got like the switch thing. We've got the buttons, and then we've got the, I guess, like tools or whatever. So maybe we should pull in the tools here. So let's do that. Pull in the tools. And like ideally, these would also be the same kind of button component. But I don't know. Let's just do flex. Items center. Flex wrap probably. Gap 1. I think I'm happy with that. We'll take tools map. Does not exist. What are you doing wrong? Tools. So here, let's just destructure the data. And then data name. Why is this not existing on tools? Design tools. That's the way you don't let things autocomplete. All right. So we got this section here. We don't actually want that at all. But I will take this and add it as an ARIA label, which I think it actually got it right there. Cool. And then we're going to just, I don't think you can actually dynamically import an image. So we'll do this. Pull this in here from master assets. That's fine. This SVGs don't take alts like that, but this is an image now, so I guess that's fine too. Why are these so much bigger? I don't know. What else do we have? It's like this light gray background color. So let's add that here. Secondary. What are you doing? What's our global muted? Text foreground. Get out of here. Rounded. No, get out of here. We'll do size like 12. There we go. We'll go do grid. Place items center. Let's do aspect 1/1. Oh, those don't look super. I mean, I shouldn't need that, right? The size should give me that. I'll do border of border. Doesn't seem super helpful. Let's do foreground and like 20. What is going on with this border? Why can I not see the border on these buttons? Because I have to actually add the border, turns out. And now we got the border color. Cool. Okay. Everything's great here. We're doing great. I know that they just changed this, but I still like cursor pointer on here. Or pointer. Yeah. And maybe that's not, what is it? Pointer cursor. Can I not spell pointer? Is it a cursor pointer? Yeah. To me, this still makes more sense. Okay. That's fine, I think. Overall, there's probably more spacing between them. So we'll add that here. Let me turn this thing off. Let's give ourselves like 15 more minutes, and then we'll call it a day. So we'll see what we can get done in 15 minutes. Okay, that works. This works. This section, we're going to need some classes on here. We'll do grid gap, maybe like 8. Again, this is where design system would really help because you're not guessing on these things, but I would say as far as guessing goes, that seems okay. If there's like an active one selected, that should be its own little thing where it's like active, but this would probably be done. I'd probably do this in React or something. Just like as a little island. So we got the same thing here. We've got all web, mobile, latest and popular, like the switch I don't know. Maybe we can do that for fun. That'd be kind of a fun. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to extract this tools thing out into its own component. So we'll do like tools filter or something, Astro. And we're going to pull all of this into there. Tools filter like that. And then let's drop this over here. And steal this from here. Drop it in here. Don't need that anymore. This is going to yell. Stop yelling. All right, I think we got mostly all that then. Okay, cool. Also don't need this currently. So that works. Let's also do the same thing for the buttons in the middle and the switch. So this is like almost like a little, it's just a filter too, right? All web mobile. So yeah, so these are all different filters. So we could be like type filter or something like that. So let's create that. Type filter to Astro. And this one we can just do inline. I think that's fine. Type filter. Obviously you'd probably want to make this part of your content collection. Because that way you can reference it in the actual project, but this should be fine. Type filter. And then finally we'll have like a little switch. So I guess we'll just say like, what's this thing? Latest popular, switch filter, I guess. I don't know. Cool. And we'll do the same thing over here. All right, so now we've got all three of those. Obviously, they look the same right now. It's fine. Let's come over here. And all web mobile UI kit coded. All right, so we won't need that. We won't need any of this stuff. Items or something. And we have all. I don't remember if these capitalized or not. And I've already lost them. All web mobile. Mobile UI kit something and something else. Coded. Okay, so now what we're going to do is loop over these. Let's leave all that in place, I guess. Items.map. We're going to do for each item. Just say I. Button. This will just be I inside here. I don't need this on here now. Cool. We're not going to do size like that. We probably do want some kind of padding though. So let's do px4, by2. I feel emotionally stable about that. And then obviously it depends on whether or not it's selected, like what the actual background would be. So again, this would probably be something I would do with React. So I'm just going to leave that as is. We'll go to the switch filter. This one should be kind of fun. So I think what I want to do is just have it be a normal component. So let's do that. We're going to have, actually we're going to have an input of checked, I think is how I would do this. All right, there's not like a switch, is there? Isn't there like a type of switched or something you can do? I don't remember, but yeah, I guess let's do can I just do this? And then we're gonna have this span. We'll have two things in here, I guess. We're gonna have the latest, and then we'll have popular. And then I'm going to make this thing absolute. And then we'll do inset 0. And I'll have this thing be relative so it stays inside here. So the idea is I want to be able to click anywhere inside this section, which right now is obviously this whole section. And then anything inside this section. Let's see, let's make sure this thing. Okay, so we need to do some other stuff. Anything inside this section would then trigger that. And then we'll hide the actual checkbox. So it'll still be like the right thing to do from like an accessibility standpoint, but we can style it how we want, which is kind of the idea. So here we're going to do justify between items center flex. Turns out you have to add flex. All right, there we go. Now these things are flexed. We should probably also do flex wrap and stuff like that. Okay, so now we've got this little checkbox that we want to use to show and hide like where this probably like we'll just do, how do I want this to be? Maybe just have like a div here. And this div will be the actual like button looking thing. Yeah, so let's have the whole background be our muted color. So we'll do background muted around the whole thing. That still doesn't even seem dark enough. For muted, foreground purple. I don't know what these things are. Let's do foreground of like 50. Oh boy, 20. Nah, let's go back to muted. Just call it a day. Okay. So we'll do PX like 6, PY 4 maybe, something like that. We'll do a border and then a border of our color border, which is so clear and rounded full. I think that should work. Let's just hide this. We know where it's at, but let's do opacity 0. Oops. Okay, cool. And then now when we click, we want it to like kind of go back and forth between the two things. So I think we're going to need more space between these to start with. So let's do a gap of like 6 at least, something like that. Cool. I think that works. Now we've got these two things like the latest and popular. This tag section is what I want to show behind this. Now, I guess there's a couple ways we could do this. We could use like an anchor, some kind of anchor positioning or something. I don't know. I guess at least right now, let's just, I feel like if we make it the exact same, they're close enough in size. Maybe let's just do that and not overcomplicate this. Which as much as I like a good overcomplication, we probably shouldn't. So, but then we can at least write some CSS and stuff. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, so we're going to do absolute here. We'll do inset 0 just to see it. Okay, there you go. So it's showing the whole way. So now I want is top and bottom. Let's do like top and bottom of 1 maybe. And then we'll do like left. Or let's do width. Can I do like 1/2? Yeah, okay. And then we're going to do left of 0 to start with. Okay. And then we'll do rounded full. And then can I do a Z index of like -10? Now to do that, I think I also need this new stacking context. So we'll do like Z of 10 here. And now you actually, hopefully you can see that. Man, that's so light. Can I do another color? That doesn't seem dark enough. It does over here, but maybe it's just because I have a box shadow. So I guess let's do that first. So here we're going to do a shadow around that. Okay, maybe that does help. And then border as well. Okay, cool. And then we're going to do left of 1. So I'd say that looks okay. Let's add this gap here. And then maybe is that what I want? I think that's fine. Okay. So we can click inside here, and basically the idea would be we'd switch these things back and forth. So let's have a little script, or we're going to locate this guy by an ID. We're going to call this like filter, switch filter. And I think there is like a role here you can put on here of like filter or switch or something. Nah, must not be. I was thinking there was some kind of way to mark this thing as a switch. But I mean, that's what it's doing, so it's fine. So we're going to say like switch equals document.query selector. Goodness, document.query selector. And we're going to look for the ID of switch filter. What is going on here? My kids are playing hide and go seek or something upstairs, so. What am I doing wrong? Have I forgotten how to write a query selector? Why is this thing yelling at me? What am I doing? Let's what am I doing here? That's literally what I just did. Why is this thing yelling at me? What's going on? All right, let's hide this for 10 more minutes. Maybe just like reload. Reload developer window. I don't know. What is happening there? What am I messing up? Why is it expecting? What am I doing wrong? Am I missing something? All right, let's back out of this. Okay, so this is literally the same thing. Switch. Oh, it's because it's a reserved word. Are you serious, Chris? I was like, if I've forgotten how to write query selectors, okay, get out of here. Let's go 5 more minutes and see if we can't do this. So we're just gonna add HTML input element, so that way we can say we have it. I mean, we're just type assertion, but it's fine. So switch input. Okay, so what do we want? Switch input dot add event listener. We're going to listen for a click. Yeah, I think so. And then here we just want to see if it's checked or unchecked, right? Do I even need this? I don't need this as JavaScript anyhow. What am I doing? All right, just in case I do, I'm going to leave it there because that's where we're at these days. All right, so what I'm going to do is set this thing as a peer, and then I can just check if the peer is checked. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. All right, peer checked. If it is checked, then we're going to move left to auto, and peer checked. We're going to use right to 1. Is that right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's not the most graceful thing in the world, but that at least works. And now we're actually getting this, experience. So let's also cursor pointer as well. So it kind of moves back and forth. Now, obviously you could do something more dynamic here where it actually like slides back and forth, but I think this is fine. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that today. I haven't done this kind of thing in a little bit. There's like a little combo box here. That's kind of a cool thing we could do. Oh man, we're so close. I shouldn't do it, right? We shouldn't finish this out, I don't think, for sake of time, because I need to get upstairs. All right, well, thanks. Hopefully that was enjoyable for you. Sorry the camera started having issues. I don't know what was going on there, and that was blocking a lot of stuff. I'll have to figure that out. Thanks for following along, though, and I hope you have the best of days. All right, see you later.